Hi, my name is Austin Gil, and I like to build fun and interesting things for the web. In my videos, I'm going to be building out new projects, checking out different technologies, and sharing the things that I learn along the way. So if that sounds interesting to you and you want to tag along, then why don't you subscribe and we can build something fun together. All right, so today I want to take a look at a little tip that I found that was kind of cool that we did in the last project that we worked on, which was this Wordle clone. So let me pull that up really quick. And before I show that, when I load the page and I start typing, I can see that I'm getting my keys sort of reflected on that on the grid. And if I do a word like puppy and then submit it, we can see that that word gets added to the grid. So the way that we're doing that is actually kind of interesting. We're not actually using any key down event listeners. We are taking advantage of an actual form, because a form is going to give us the advantage of having both an input element available to be able to type into and handle that network request to kind of send it to the back end. So if we look here, we can see if I reload again and I start typing something like, I don't know, codes, and then we clear out my network request and oops. Yeah. Let me type codes and send that. We can see that the network request is sent from that form afterwards. So there's actually several things going on here. We're taking the typing input. We're actually doing a little bit of validation to make sure that it works, that the word is accurate, and then we're making a network request. And all of that stuff is built into HTML pretty readily. So how we're doing that is with this form here that's actually not visible when you look at the page. And we're doing that, this sort of hidden input, with this class called visually hidden. You may have seen this. It's a pretty handy little class that does all of these properties to kind of hide this element that it's attached to. And the reason we do that is a visually hidden class is so that when screen reader users or assistive technology users come to our page, they will get the experience of being able to interact with that element without actually having to be able to see it. So it's handy for visual users. I can interact with the page and type into my page here and see that I'm interacting with the form, and assistive technology users will also be able to interact and understand that they're working inside of a form. So that's kind of cool, and that is a handy little tip, because the form is a great element, one of my favorite HTML elements, that gives us a lot of power in creating data, sending it over the wire, doing some validation if we need to. And yeah, and then the one other little thing I want to show off here is we have this input inside of our form, and it's using this autofocus property, which is how I'm being able to type. As soon as I reload the page, I can type into it, and that's actually going right into that input. Now, it's very important to keep in mind that autofocus attributes are you should be using them very few and far between, because most forms don't actually deserve to be autofocused. But if we can look at another common example like wikipedia.com, we can see that right away when the page loads, the form is being focused, and that's because that's the main purpose of this page, is to search in it. So back on our app, the main purpose of our little app is to type into this game and interact with it. So I hope that that's handy. The visually hidden input is pretty cool. Using forms is awesome, and we can play with this autofocus property just when we really need to put focus on that element. So hope that's helpful, and yeah, please follow along for more tips.